Oh, I tell you, stuff like this, it's flavour packed. You know, this is the stuff you can eat if you're not a vegetarian. This is superb. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're doing a vegetarian dish. We are doing cauliflower and chickpea curry pie and a sweet potato mash. We're going to prep it all up on here, boil up some stuff, stick it in the oven, crisp over the mash. A fantastic curry pie. It's vegetarian, it's full of goodness, and you know, to be fair, it's one of those recipes where even a meat eater like me, I like this type of dish. So it's very much straightforward, so we just need to crack on. Now we've got some sweet potatoes in here. Now I've already washed them, and then I looked at them and I thought, I'm going to have to peel those. So I've peeled the sweet potatoes. I'm just going to cube these up, stick them in some water, shove them on in a pan behind me whilst I crack on with the front. There's our sweet potatoes. All we need to do is cube them. So I've got myself some water in this pan. It's not enough in there, but there's something to start it off. And we just want to be nicely cubing these, roughly the same size. We want them to cook at the same time, and we're going to go in that pan. So we have that in there. Now I just want a little bit more water in there. I've got purple hands already, look. So I've got a little bit more water in there. I'm going to stick that on behind me, and we're going to bring that to a boil for about 12 to 15 minutes, depending how long it takes for those potatoes to go very soft. Now you can season that water if you so wish. I don't wish to, because I will season the pie. Got some garlic and a little bit of ginger. So we're just going to give this a bit of a mash in and a run over with our knife. Now you can really go to town and you can mash the heck out of it, or even just use straight out of a jar for convenience. Garlic ginger paste, that's up to you. It doesn't make any difference to me, because when it's cooking in the pan, it's still going to cook down anyway. So we're going to put that on there. Now for the ginger, I'm going to go julienne, or I'm going to cut it into thin strips. Just little bits like that. And you can go really thin if you want. Now I like doing it this way for this type of curry, because even though it cooks in there, if it doesn't cook all the way down, you have little strands of ginger in your curry, and I love ginger. Okay, there we go, one side. Now I've got some cauliflower here, look, I've already cubed it up into florets just to save time. I've got a tin of chickpeas which I've drained and rinsed. I've chopped up an onion and cubed it, and I've got a tin of tomatoes and a can of coconut milk. So let's just crack on and start putting it together. Okay, this one then is very straightforward. Want a flame on, and I'm using butter. Now you can use oil, ghee, anything you want, that's up to you. So I'm going in there with my onions, and we're going to give that a little minute in there. I've got my garlic and my ginger, that's in as well. Now we are just cooking this for the garlic and ginger to release its aromatics and the onions to saute down a little bit. If you get colour on it, so be it, but we're not out for colour as such. But it doesn't matter if it tinges up, goes brown. We're not bothered, just don't burn it. So this is a different type of curry. Obviously it's a vegetarian curry, but it's different. We're incorporating Indian, Thai and the Western way into this. And the Western way is to chuck in loads of coconut milk and let it boil. But we are going to try and cook off and crack the coconut milk first, which is the Thai way, after we have released the aromatics from our curry powder, garam masala, cumin and chili powder. And there is a little lump there, look, to go in. We have to be careful because we're not using very much oil, and we've started off with the onions, garlic and ginger. So to actually bloom the spices, we don't have much oil to play with, and I'm not going to put any more in. So I'm going to go in there with all our spices. I'm going to start to cook it in there. Now don't forget the spices are dry, so we have to keep an eye on this. We don't want it to burn. We're using as much of that butter oil in there with those onions to try and bloom those spices. Now it's not a panic, look, you can see how high the flame is. Don't panic, just nice and steady. Now the Asian Thai way is put some milk in and try to cook down that milk in there until it splits. So I've got my onions and everything to one side, look, and as you can see it's already splitting. So we're going to cook that down to get a nice aromatics from that. And then we're going to add our cauliflower into here, chickpeas and the rest of the coconut milk and tomatoes. So just push your onions and that to one side, look. They're not burning and this is split. Can you see how we've taken the oils out of that coconut milk? So that is lovely. So let's go in there with our chickpeas. These chickpeas have been drained and rinsed. Now what I am going to do is add just a little bit more coconut milk. It's a build-up. We want to keep everything moving in here. We're going in there with our cauliflower. And these are tin tomatoes. Now they are not crushed in any way at the moment. Now you could just crush these with your hands, nice and steady like that. Just screw them up into there. Or you can chop them with a pair of scissors or a knife. Entirely up to you. We just want the tomato in there. So you choose whichever way you want to do it. Quick stir in. We're getting a lovely curry sauce happening there. Okay, and then we are going in there with the rest of our coconut milk. So we just give it a stir around, and then what we're going to do is cook this with the lid on for about 15 minutes until all our cauliflower is actually fork tender. So just put a lid on, bring it up to a simmer and then turn it down. Cook on low for about 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, there we are. We've got it up to a decent simmer. And now we just need to start cooking that down for about 12 minutes. So turn down your flame, and all you've got to do is keep coming round every now and again. Give it a stir, make sure it's not sunk to the bottom and catching on the pan. Now our potatoes are soft, they're cooked through, they're lovely. What I've done, I've drained them, I've put them back on the flame, dried them out. Now we want to mash those with some butter. So we've got some butter there, look. And this is where you come with your seasoning. I'm going to go a little bit of salt, not too much, and I want to go pepper. Nice bit of pepper in there. I like pepper in my mashed potatoes. And then you can mash it any which way you want, but I'm using a potato masher. And we're just going to give that a mashing through. Nice and steady. Give it a stir through. And that is going to be our mashed potato top for our curry. Okay, that is starting to look really, really good. That is perfect. The cauliflower's still got a little bit of texture in it, so we just need to be cooking this for about a minute with no lid on. See if we can get it thickened a little bit, but we don't thicken it too much because this is our sauce. Now if you like cilantro or coriander, you could put some chopped up in there, stir it all through, let it cook through there, or you could just serve some over the top at the end. I mean, it smells amazing in here. Absolutely amazing. So that's looking lovely. That's about perfect. Off with the flame. That is superb. We get enough moisture in there with enough of our ingredients to make this a really delicious curry. I've got one of these glass tray things again today, look. And we're going to put all our cauliflower chickpea curry sauce in the bottom of there. And then we need to be taking our sweet potato mash, and that is going on there. So just level that out a little bit. Don't squash it down, it doesn't need it. Just sort of level it out. And then we're going on there with our mash. Wow, look at the colour contrast there. Oh. Okay, oven on, and we're going to do about 175. Let it heat away. All we got to do now is level out our mash a little bit without squashing it in. We want lumps of this up. You know, we want it to crisp over the top a little bit if we can. So there we have it. Now I do anticipate it boiling over a little bit, so I've got it in a tray. We got to get that in the oven. In it goes. On it goes, and we want to be hitting the time for about 20 minutes. Okay, that's good enough for me. Oh, that looks incredible. There we have it, look at that. Now there's some colour right there. You've got a nice crispy crusty top on there actually. And I know it's going to be soft inside because obviously the potatoes down into the curry sauce. So we're going to let it cool about 5 minutes and then we'll just scoop some out into a bowl and give it a taste test. So just look at that, that is incredible. That is cauliflower curry, chickpea pie, sweet potato mash made. That is a plate full of goodness right there. What does it taste like? Come on, we're gonna have to give it a taste test. Oh, we got a nice crispy top on there with that sweet potato. That is fantastic. Let's get through to this cauliflower. That is sensational. That really works all together. That is delicious. That cauliflower, the chickpeas with that sweet potato. Oh, it's amazing. That is amazing. And you know, you could put a little bit of coriander over the top if you wanted to make it look green on the top as well. I tell you, stuff like this, it's flavour packed, superb. You know, this is the stuff you can eat if you're not a vegetarian. This is superb. That is truly delicious. If you like what we're doing, don't forget, smash that like and subscribe, share with your friends, all that kind of stuff. We'll catch you in the next video.